This is the Goin to the Hoop podcast.
Welcome to this week's Going to the Hoop podcast. We are on the road as we've been all season. We are coming to you at the home of the North Knox Warriors, the number one team in 2A girls high school basketball in the state of Indiana. We are joined by the head coach of the North Knox Warriors, Coach Steve Muir. You came on the podcast last year. This year, we're happy to be in your territory.
With this weather, I'm glad you came down this way.
Yes. Sectional weather kind of came a little early. We got some snow earlier last week, but normally we expect sectional weather to have snow, but let's get the snow out of the way before we have sectional.
Yeah, we had the fog. We had a game last night in the fog. It took us about an hour to get to Lagodi. Normally it takes us 30 minutes.
Wow.
So, yeah, it was a bad night.
Coach, obviously this team, I mean, obviously you had the great run last year. You come up short in semi-state, and then this year you bounce back 22-1. The only loss, 1-point loss, win 14 in a row. Playing your best basketball at the right time. I know you guys have big goals ahead. Just what's been the biggest key to success for the team this season, and moving forward, what do you think is going to be the biggest key for you guys to keep this run going?
Well, last summer we had some key injuries, and we struggled early. We had ACLs. A couple ACLs we had to heal up from. We had a lot of ankle injuries, and we got off to a really slow start. And we healed up. About 6 games in, we healed up, and we started gelling together. And one thing about my team is they play as a team. I mean, I've never had a team like this where they know each other. They're very intelligent. They've played together ever since they've been in 5th grade. So they're just a lot of fun to coach.
And I know going from having to heal up a little bit and going through that to where you are now, what kind of perseverance does that require from these young ladies as they're going through school as well, and then dealing with some of these things, and then going out on the court and performing so well?
Well, you take my point guard who had an ACL last summer. She really she had to work her tail off because she made it back. Usually it takes 5 months back from an ACL, and she's back in 4.5.
Wow.
So she worked extremely hard. She's coming to practices, wasn't getting to practice, but she was doing things on the sideline. And I think my team watches that.
Yeah.
And they see her working hard. And I kind of think that basically rubbed off to my rest of my players. And then I've got another senior who's just now made it back, and they see her working hard on the sideline to get back. And I think that really rubs off the rest of the players.
How have you kind of watched this team? I know you're not a rookie. You've got over 400 wins. How have you kind of watched this team grow this year? And I'm sure you've taken a greater appreciation for how good these girls are this year, Coach.
Well, one of the things I've seen them grow is mentally. It's amazing because you got that target on your back all the time when you're number one. And I was worried about that because last year we had to prove ourselves. Sure. And we were ranked number one, but just for like a month. Well, this year we've been ranked number one the entire year. So I'm so proud of them to be able to know you got that target on your back and be able to fight that every game knowing the teams are out to get you. So I'm very proud of that aspect.
You mentioned kind of the target on your back. I mean, last year you guys had that great run, but you were kind of a young team. This year you snuck up on nobody. Does that kind of add like an extra motivation to this team to kind of, knowing you're going to get everyone's best shot each and every night?
Oh.
It's going to be the same come state tournament time.
Most definitely. And it puts a lot of pressure on you as well because when you don't play well, like when we weren't playing real well at the beginning of the year, everybody's saying, what's wrong? What's going on? You're number one. So it's really, really nice to see this team progress, knowing that you have that pressure and also that target.
And we are getting close to sectionals now. They're right around the corner. What are going to be some of the keys to success for this Warrior team?
Well, one thing about my team, we're very deep. We play 8 to 9 players. So I think that's going to be extremely important in a very competitive sectional.
Yeah.
Where you're going to get tired. When you have to play, I think we're the only 8-team sectional in 2A. So there's not very many. So we have to win 3 games in order to win the sectional. And I think having that many players really benefits us. South Knox, of course, they've got a lot of players they play, and Linton. So it's probably one of the most competitive sectionals in the state of Indiana, I'd say.
Yeah, that I was going to say probably the best sectional in the state of Indiana. And, Knox County hoops bows to no one right now. You guys played South Knox, got them in overtime. They had to turn people away, right? It was a packed house here. What does that say about the support you guys get and basketball is getting here in Knox County?
Well, let me just go back to my first. It shows you how old I am. When I first started, we'd have 25 to 30 people in the crowd. When I coached at North Davis, I mean, it was basically nothing. It was just something for people to do. Maybe if they had anything else to do. Well, now you look up the crowd and you see 3,700 people. And so it has evolved so much in the last 25 years. So it's very exciting. The girls are excited. It really helps us because we've had great crowd support,
Yeah.
even away games. It's just amazing. We went to Lagodi last night with the bad weather. We had a huge crowd. So that sixth person really inspires us.
Well, and like, look at where we're at right now. I mean, just some of the facilities that you guys have, and we love to come and cover games here because of the facilities and just how awesome it is. I mean, that support, it means so much.
That's a compliment to our administration, our superintendent for providing us. We just got
Yeah.
new locker rooms this year. So we're on cloud nine right
Yeah.
now. So
Coach, just what is this year? How special is this year's team, and just what makes this team special? I know you've coached for a long time, like you said. You have over 400 wins, but I mean, this team feels like it has the chance to do something pretty special.
I think what's special about this team is the teamwork. In the past, we've always had one or two players that are scorers.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes this team so special is that you never know from game to game who's going to be the leading scorer on this
Yeah.
team. And that's fun to watch. And it kind of relaxes you because, like when my daughter played, Mackenzie, I'd have to figure out ways to get her open. Sure. I don't have to do that. I can kind of sit back and relax. And I'm tickled to death when I look in the scorebook and I see 3 or 4 people in double figures.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really impressive.
Well, Coach, you've survived this. Are you ready to survive our suggestion?
Yes.
Let's see if you're ready. These are random questions, no wrong answer.
All right.
And we will all answer them, so don't worry.
Pressure.
And you go
Alright.
first.
Read the
All right.
question if you want, and then we'll all answer.
I'm upside down. If you could coach, play, cover a game in one stadium arena, where would you choose?
Other than here, of course, right?
Now, does it have to be high school or?
No, anything,
No, anywhere.
anything.
Any
There's no-
sport,
no
any
wrong
sport,
answer.
any stadium.
That's easy. I'd want to play for Indiana University.
Yeah.
But I'd want to play for them back in the 90s and 80s.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, maybe not now.
Back when Bobby Knight was coaching, that's always been my dream. And I've always been a big IU fan and the old pinstripes. So that's simple.
Nicole,
Simply
what's
all.
that answer?
I would echo that. I would say
Yep.
if I could, I mean, I was lucky enough to get to cover a game there, and that's nothing like it. Nothing like it there, Assembly Hall.
I'd probably go with the Horseshoe. I'm a big Ohio State football fan. If I could get an Ohio State Michigan game, that'd be
There you go.
pretty cool to cover for sure.
Tennessee, Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, something like that. Probably maybe back in the 90s when Peyton Manning
Yeah.
and Todd
Yep.
Helton were both there, something like that.
We're all college fans
Yeah,
here. I like that.
college.
Nobody said any professional. We love college around
All
here.
right, here we go. This question 2. Let's hope it's not too difficult. All right. Would you rather host a holiday party or visit another person's home for a holiday? I know hosting, there's a lot of work involved, but do you like hosting holidays? Or?
No, absolutely not. Because I'm in charge of doing a lot of cleaning at the house and sweeping and vacuuming. I just don't want to do that. I'd rather go somewhere.
I'm the same way. It's so much easier, all the fun, less the work.
No, most definitely.
I think we're some hosts over here.
Yeah.
We like hosting. I like to have everybody over. I don't have a big house or anything yet, but I like bringing everybody there.
The key is, like as Coach said, make sure you don't have to do too much housework. Maybe
That's
you
right.
kind of divide and conquer the housework,
there you go.
and then have everyone bring a side dish or
Yeah.
something, right?
All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Okay. Would you rather own a jet or a boat?
Oh.
Would you rather have a private jet or a boat?
Me go first?
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely a boat.
Boat?
My wife and I love the water. I used to water ski all the time, but we just love being out on the water and in the summertime. So definitely a boat.
I would go with a boat as well. Obviously, I don't know. I kind of like flying on planes with other people. Private jet would kind of ruin all the fun of, TSA and all that. But I would
yeah.
like a boat in the summertime for sure. You could fish, you could do whatever. But yeah, I would go with the boat too.
Fun is one way to describe it,
Yeah,
I say.
that's
I'm
true.
not a big flyer, but I would say a jet just because you would be able to
Go anywhere.
Yeah.
wherever you want to go.
We could do some cool podcasts.
Yeah.
We could fly anywhere. And
Yeah.
do this interview by the beach.
Yeah,
Come back in
true.
the
With your
fall.
boat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with your boat.
You say jet too, you think?
Oh yeah, definitely jet.
All right.
Last but not least.
Yep.
Oh, appetizers or desserts?
Oh.
Which they're both good, but if you had to pick one.
You'll start.
Yeah, I got a sweet tooth. I'll go with dessert. I mean, even if I were to eat an appetizer, I couldn't finish the meal until I had dessert. So I would go with.
Really? Okay, so you're a dessert guy even if
Yes,
you're
exactly.
you're not getting full or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would probably have to go with an appetizer, just less fattening because dessert
Yes.
goes right to my best parts of my body I don't want to go to. So, yep.
I would say appetizers as well. I'm a big cheese girl. I feel like anything cheesy start off the meal. that's a good thing.
Appetizers go good with sports. You know, you get the
Yeah.
buffalo chicken dip,
go.
spinach
Yes.
dip, wings.
right.
You know, goes good with basketball, high school basketball, college basketball. Coach, thanks so much for having us here for this week's podcast.
I'm glad you guys came down. I
Yes.
really do appreciate it. Thank you so
We
much.
can't wait to see what happens with, of course, wrapping up the season. The sectional next week will be
Yeah.
tuned in.
Best
All
of
right.
luck.
Thanks for coming.
Hey, you're watching our Going to the Hoop podcast. More to come with some North Knox players right after this.
Welcome back to our Going to the Hoop podcast this week. As you can see, we're here at Knox. I'm now joined by three Lady Warriors, Lucy Sharon, Briley Udd, and Alex McKinley. Guys, thanks for taking some time out of a busy week to come on this week's podcast.
Thank you.
You guys are having a great season. I mean, you guys are number 1 in 2A, 22-1, 14 wins in a row. I mean, you guys got one game in the regular season left, but what would it mean for you guys? I know you guys were all on the team last year that came up short in semi-state. What would it mean for you guys to be able to go on a run and hopefully, rebound and maybe take it all the way this year?
I mean, us seniors have always said state 2024. I mean, it's not like we didn't want to get there previous years, but this is our year to finally show them what we got.
I think last year was our pre-run, and this year we've got it.
Yeah, it's always been a dream of ours. It'd be really cool.
Obviously, I mean, I remember coming in covering you guys last year and that loss to Forest Park in semi-state. Has that been something that's kind of motivated you to get back to that point this year?
Yeah, I mean, they lost a couple key players, so that kind of gave us a little bit of motivation to come back and hopefully beat them again.
All of last year's season was pretty good motivation because we had such a good season, and we just want to keep that going.
Yeah, we were right there with them the whole game last year, and we just came up short, so we really used that to push for this year.
What makes this year's team so special? We kind of talked to Coach Muir about it. I mean, he said the togetherness of this team. What do you think stands out about this year's team that makes it so special to be a part of?
I mean, we're all friends here. I mean, you can be partners with anybody and you'll talk to them the whole time, even when you're not supposed to. I mean, you still make conversation with everybody, so.
It's definitely a family project here. I mean, everybody is there for everybody no matter what, and we've always got each other's backs.
Yeah, we grew up together, playing together. We are a family.
What's it like playing for Coach Muir? I mean, that's over 400 wins, but I mean, the last few years, you guys have been on this special run. I mean, what's he like as a coach and kind of off the court? What's kind of something maybe we don't know about him? We see him on the court, but we don't know kind of maybe his personality off the court.
He likes to have fun. I mean, he plays the piano, so he likes to do that. When
Okay.
he sees one, he always gets out there and plays it for us, so.
He's a big-time jokester. He's pretty serious on the court, but off the court, he's a good time.
Yeah, whenever we're not in practice or going to games, he's always trying to get in with us, get in on the jokes, and play with the games that we have on our phones.
There you go. What's a go-to piano song of his? Do you remember any?
Play some Elvis.
Yeah,
Oh.
he loves
Yeah, he loves Elvis.
See that? That doesn't surprise me about Coach Muir. I mean, it's kind of transitioning, another kind of fun question. I mean, what kind of game day routines do you guys have? Are there any pregame meals, postgame meals you have to eat? Any songs you got to listen to hype yourself up on a game day? Something like that?
We play a lot of Heyday. That's what we all
That's our.
We have a big group that all the basketball girls are joined in on, and some of our coaches are too, so we play that a lot.
There you go.
Yeah. Before games, we again, the togetherness. All of the parents have meals before away games, so we eat together at the school. We're with each other from all day at school, and then we ride the bus there. We play game, and we come back on the bus, and we're together the whole time, and it's just really a family.
Yeah, we always make sure and pray before games too, and I feel like that really calms us down and just sets our minds straight.
I want to ask you guys, I mean, we kind of talked to Coach about it. I mean, just the support this North Knox girls program and just all North Knox sports get. I mean, it's pretty incredible. Coach was saying when he first started coaching, they're only getting like 25 or 30 fans. You guys are playing in front of a packed house every night. Just what does the support from the community mean to you guys?
I mean, it means everything to us. It makes us want to play harder when we hear them yelling and just encouraging everybody, not just one person, the whole team.
They're definitely our motivation. They're there every night. They come to all of our away games. They're there, they show up, so we got to show up for them.
Yeah, we really just want to make them proud of us. And I mean, it's crazy whenever you're standing right next to someone on the court and you can't even hear what they're saying to you.
Well, guys, thank you. I mean, best of luck the rest of the season. We're looking forward to covering you guys, hopefully on a long state tournament run. You guys were great on the podcast today. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thanks
for having us.
We'll be back with more Going to the Hoop podcast right after this.
WTWO Sports, your ultimate destination for the thrill of local sports. Where our community's spirit shines brightest. From around the valley, witness the pulse-pounding moments. Experience the adrenaline-fueled highlights that define every game. Guided by Sports Director Grant Pugh and reporter Jack Burney. Don't miss a single second. Your insight into the action. Only on WTWO Sports. Airing every day at 6 p.m. and 11 p.m.
Welcome back to this week's Going to the Hoop podcast. Many thanks to North Knox, Coach Muir, and the North Knox players for stopping by. We're in this, of course, fantastic North Knox Warrior Room as we get set for a lot of high school basketball, but there's some college basketball to talk about as well. The excitement, the energy just keeps growing when it comes to the ISU Sycamores.
Yeah, and it's really great to see. I mean, they got a big one Saturday against Bradley. I mean, it's be like Robbie Day. They're giving out the goggles. They're giving out replica jerseys. So I'm expecting Holman Center to be packed, and rightfully so. I mean, the Sycamores are rolling. I mean, Robbie just player of the week. He had 2 great performances for ISU last week, and they've really kind of turned the corner. They had that tough loss to Drake, their first conference loss of the season, but they stay motivated, and they got a big one with Drake coming up. And not to look too far ahead, but they got a big one with Drake coming up in a couple of weeks, and that one might be for first in the Valley. So.
Well, in national televised games, they're getting votes for the AP Top 25. People are really starting to pay attention, as they should be. Yes. And we say this week after week, but nobody deserves that more than Coach Schertz and the guys on his squad, because they came into a program that was still trying to kind of find its footing, and in no time, they're just taking off, and it's great to see. And yeah, I think Holman Center is going to be popping, but I can't wait to see all those goggles out there.
Oh, it's awesome.
And how about the commercial that they all did with Todd Hine and Labor Link?
So
that
good.
was so awesome. So they've got
So
the
good.
personality. I mean, what's not to love about ISU basketball?
Shoes and Sneakers Day, if I can get that out for cancer. Of course, they're doing that
Yeah.
Saturday as well. Just a special, I mean, you and I have seen the Sycamores for years. This
Yes.
is only Jack's, your second year covering
Yes.
ISU kind of, so you're getting spoiled. I mean, this is energy and excitement you haven't seen around this program in quite a while.
Right, and I mean, just the job Coach Schertz has done. This is his 3rd year. I mean, just the turnaround they've been able to do from year 1 to year 3. I mean, it's been incredible. They're one of the top teams in the Valley, and he thinks that they're one of the top teams in the country when they're at their best, and I would have to agree based off what we've seen this year.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see what happens with the Sycamores. Also, shout out St. Mary's,
Yeah.
right?
Yes, St. Mary of the Woods College. They've won eight games in a row. Kobe Barnes has played really well for them. He was the conference player of the week. They're 8-0 in their conference, number 1 in the conference. So Coach McClung's done a great job there. So 2 teams at Terre Haute right now that are playing really well in their conference, and hopefully can keep that going as they get ready for their tournaments.
We don't always get to talk about a lot of energy around Terre Haute during basketball
But
season. It's great to see
this. High school basketball
Yeah.
picking up, of course. Girls sectional is going to start soon. Boys have the last month of the regular season in February. Hey, thanks for joining us this week on our Going to the Hoop podcast. For Jack, Nicole, and Grant, we'll see you next time, probably at a basketball game. See you soon.